So, life update. As you can see, we're in a completely new scenery. We're in my bathroom. I moved. Um, there's so much that I could say, but honestly, I'm gonna start off with the type of energy that I've been getting because it seems like my narcissistic family is very confused and I'm not understanding where the confusion is coming from, right? Because when I was in a position where I had to depend on them emotionally, financially, what have you, it was fuck me, okay? It was fuck me when after I cussed my dad out for trying to cuss me out while I was in the hospital, literally for seizures that were caused by stress, and he didn't give a fat flying fuck. He stole my car keys and he thought that I wouldn't be able to get around. Whole time I had a other pair that I used to get around, but he did that to make a statement, as in I still have control over you, blase, blase, blah. Very controlling, very narcissistic, very I am the victim, but I'm gonna treat you like shit. Okay, and I will never see myself as a victim, but at the end of the day, I did survive, y'all. Okay. I don't know why we are acting so confused when it was my sister who lied on me at 12 years old, called my dad and said I was sending naked pictures to some dude at her high school. Mind you, she lived in Georgia. I lived in New York State. You're telling me that just magically I just so happened to be sending nudes as a minor to somebody who just so happened to go to your high school. And of course, my dad just took whatever the fuck she said, ran with it, made my life a living hell for literally no fucking reason. But yet we're confused on why I don't want to talk. When I got out of the hospital, when I left the hospital, because I was literally experiencing medical racism, they literally wanted to put everything on the fact that I was on drugs, even though they tested me for drugs and found absolutely nothing, right? So I found my sister on my social medias putting laughing emojis on my content. Mind you, the video was very fucking serious, okay? I was educating people, I was teaching people, right? Because I have a supporter base, right? She felt like she should laugh. So I'm like, that was weird. So I called her up about it. And yeah, she claimed that she was upset that I left the hospital, but she was more so upset that my dad was not my emergency contact and that I don't let him touch my car. I'm not going to let a narcissistic person touch my car or touch my valuables or touch my belongings, because that gives them a sense of control over me, right? That, like, I don't know why we're acting so stupid in regards to why I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't know why we're confused when I told my mother about the medical racism that I was experiencing, and she said, you know what, do what you got to do for you. And like always, she chose that man over me. Like always, chooses it over herself, chooses it over her self-respect, her self-worth, always chooses that man over all those things, including me. And then is confused on why I do not want to talk. People, a part of a narcissistic hive mind, they will do so much shit to you and then act like you're overreacting or whatever, because they don't see what they do as a problem because they're so used to doing that shit. And I'm done. I asked God, I'm like, you seen what the fuck is going down. I seen everything that I need to see, especially after having that seizure. Of course, it was stuff before the seizure that I seen that, made me not want to be around them. I mean, it was my dream since I was a child to get away from my family, and I'm finally out. Why the fuck would I want to be in contact with anybody? Nobody wants to take accountability. Nobody wants to own up to their shit. Everybody wants to act like I'm crazy or I'm acting out or whatever. And I talk to people outside of y'all and they're like, wow. So I'm not understanding why people are so confused when I don't want to talk. People who have projected shit onto me, people who wanted to see me in a certain way and chose to take any tiny little thing to validate that reasoning and then treat me even more bogus now that they had some type of confirmation, even if it was a lie. Why would I want to talk to y'all when There is quite literally triangulation going on. There's no reason why an adult who is a parent should be gossiping to one of their children about another one of their children. Not only does that breed a sense of superiority, but that makes them feel like they have a leg to stand on when it comes to coming at me. Why would I want to talk to y'all? Like, are we actually insane? But pushing that to the side, because I'm so grateful, like God told me, like, hey, that's their last time. That is their last time. That is their last straw. We're getting you out of there. And 3 months after I had that seizure, 3 months after everything went down, they were like, I'm out of here. I'm obviously in a new space. Everything that I was told came to pass. Even when I didn't know where I was going. And that video is up. I have to unprivate it though. Where I was talking about how I don't know where I'm going to move, but I'm going to move somewhere. I'm being called to pack shit up. I'm being called to throw shit away that I don't want to take with me. I'm being called to move, despite if I know where the fuck I'm going. And I'm in a lovely apartment, not only a lovely apartment, but an apartment that I manifested being in. My dream apartment, my dream apartment complex, right? So let's just start there. Congratulations to me. Very happy. But yeah, a lot has happened. So I don't know, to anybody who's been watching these videos, there was a point in time where I was not making a lot of money, right? And this is how I say sometimes when you're in a narcissistic family and they're literally draining the life out of you and you become a shell of who you are, that can slow down other avenues of your life. For example, I have a job that would usually give me mad hours, okay? I work with children on the spectrum. You're going to get fucking hours, right? All of a sudden, I stopped getting hours. The more they kept beating down on me emotionally, the more I just felt like the space that I was in, which was my parents' house, was no longer the space that was conducive to my evolution and to my growth. The more shit started slowing down for me, and that's how I knew I needed to make a move. For example, out of a 2-week paycheck, I worked 2 days. And out of those 2 days, I worked less than 6 hours. That's how slow the money was, right? Now, as an RBT, you be making buku bank. Not even gonna cap. Buku bank. So I'm like, I don't understand. Why when I move into this new apartment, all of a sudden I have hours, consistent hours. More than 6 hours a day. Mind you, I've been dealing with slow hours for the past 2 months. I had the seizure 3 months ago. I'm telling you, being around the wrong people, being around people who do not genuinely support you, who genuinely do not like you at your core, who project shit onto you, who send you so much evil eye, who gossip about you and then want to claim they're so fucking holier than thou. I promise you, that is spiritual warfare. And that will put you in a position where your dreams, your aspirations, the things that you are working on, all that shit will slow the fuck down until you make a move. And me moving in here, it was a big leap. Mind you, I was told that I was going to make a big leap. I was told I was going to make a big leap in September, that I would make a big leap that would activate my solar plexus, which is your center right here in your stomach. Your solar plexus governs your confidence, your self-confidence, your willpower to do certain things, your autonomy, your will and to build a life for yourself and being able to control your destiny. That is all a part of the solar plexus, right? Taking a big leap is a very solar plexus type of thing. I was told in September that I would make a very big leap, but it would lead me to the rest of my life where I am not only abundant, but I'm happy. I find people who genuinely support me, who genuinely love me, who don't feel shameful or disappointed every time I don't fit the box of who I should be in their eyes, who don't want me to conform to any familial systems or what they think I should do, the way they think I should think. You know what I'm saying? They just appreciate me for who the fuck I am, which is something that from my family I've never been able to get. I can count on one hand and about 2 fingers as far as immediate family is concerned on who has genuinely supported me, whether it was easy or hard, and did not falter and did not fold with that shit. And that's it. And I've been able to go out into the world and find people who just genuinely love being around me, who share a similar story that I do, who have been able to see me, not for their projections, not for what they want to see me as, but see me. My life is changing in my favor. And I know the worst of what I've been through is behind me. And I'm just so grateful to be in a space where I don't have to worry as much about spiritual warfare from my family, evil eye, gossip, talking shit on the phone about me, which is gossip, but clicks and invalidating experiences and, oh, I had it worse, so it's not that big of a deal. Like, that doesn't prove that there's less dysfunction. That just proves that the dysfunction is so deeply rooted within you and it's not fucking going anywhere. And I've done too much work. I've done too much journaling. I've done too much therapy. I've done so much applying the things that I've learned about myself, about my familial systems, about the ancestral generational curses that I have broken, that nobody who is a part of said generational curses see unless it affects them directly, in which they don't see it as a good thing. They don't see it as a good thing, because when dysfunction feels like home, when dysfunction feels like what is familiar, when dysfunction feels like it should be the default, anything outside of that, or anybody who tries to push anything else outside of that, then becomes the villain. And I am completely okay with being the villain. I am completely okay with any story that any of my so-called family makes up about me, any type of anything that they decide to make up about me, because at the end of the day, my life is going to prove who the fuck was the problem at the end of the day. There's a reason why I walk to the beat of my own drum, which is not even my own drum. I'm always being led by something higher. But when you're led by something higher, not everybody is going to get it. Not everybody is meant to come with you. Not everybody can understand. Not everybody wants to understand. So a lot of times it's just going to be you and the creator. You and the creator. Until the table is presented. And the people who doubted you, who talked shit about you, who tried to keep those generational curses on lock when it comes to you, who are being controlled by ancestral demons, the demon of control, the demon of envy, the demon of narcissism, which is Leviathan. Like, they're not going to be happy for you. And that's the thing I've learned. They're never going to be fucking happy for me. Like, there's always just been this tinge of jealousy. Especially because, and mind you, I know what jealousy feels like, because I have literally known the spirit of jealousy my entire life. Grade school, folks was jealous of me. College, folks was jealous of me. Church growing up, people was jealous of me. Family-wise, people were jealous of me. Okay? And it came in the form of really fucked up advice. It came in the form of not validating the shit that I was going through because they centered themselves instead. It came through them projecting shit onto me and purposefully not wanting to see me because it benefited them to see what the fuck they wanted to see. Or they seen my light back when I had low self-esteem as a child. And they did not want me to get to the point where I stood in that light. So they did their best to break that shit down and convince me I wasn't who the fuck I was. And yeah, God said fuck that. God said fuck all that shit. And that's why I'm here in my dream apartment complex. Being able to focus on what I want to build and not having to be so close to bullshit. Like, that house that I lived in is so stagnant. So stagnant. I mean, it's like you're living the same day over and over and over. And the more that I was doing the inner work, the more that place just felt like a jail and a cage. The more that I outgrew that space energetically through spiritual healing, through emotional and mental healing, through being exposed to something healthier, the more that space, being around a lot of who I was around felt like a cage, to the point where I couldn't function, to the point where my money started slowing down, to the point where I became a shell of my former self. And people took that as who I was, when that was never who I was. You just didn't like who the fuck I was. And it's just so fucking draining that it takes too much energy to be who the fuck I am. I would rather just protect who I am until I'm able to leave, so that I can get into a space where I can exhale and be myself. And now I'm here. So yeah, that's my life update. I'm going to keep it pretty short. 15 minutes for me is short, because usually this should be like 30 to 45 minutes. But yeah, if you guys ever are feeling stuck in your manifestations, I'm pretty sure you can even feel my energy. Like, bro, I don't give a fuck if nobody believes in you. I don't give a fuck if people think that you're crazy. I don't give a fuck how many people are against you, bro. If you lock in, if you take the time to rewire your brain, whether it be through robotic writing what you want your life to be like. I have pages full of shit, and I'm going to make videos showing that I manifested this exact moment. Cannot wait to do that. But just know, you could be an alchemist if you want to be an alchemist. You can take the evil eye that they give you and turn that shit into gold if you want to. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I literally died for this shit. But what I am telling you is that it's possible. And it's probably not going to take all of that for you. But, you know, we all got different paths and shit. But, yeah, I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my evening. I just posted a freestyle on all my platforms called Golden Child Black Sheep. If you're a black sheep in your family and you know that what you're doing is right, but yet everyone else around you is trying to make excuses or make you feel shame or project shit onto you that you know is not who you are at your core, Golden Child Black Sheep will definitely resonate with you. Because a black sheep to a toxic family is a golden child to the world, as long as you are willing to be vulnerable and to be authentic and put yourself out there. You never know who you're going to connect with and who you're going to meet and whose life you're going to change and who can see themselves in you. That gives them even just a little bit of fuel to keep going. A little bit of fuel to see those tables turn in their favor.